Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is an exercise video. We're going to have many more exercise videos in this tutorial because people use Autodesk Inventor for so many different reasons. Students, for example, use it for school projects, senior design projects, or professionals like engineers, technicians use it for their employers, maybe a manufacturing company to design an industrial part, for example, or hobbyists design custom parts, people who want to design the product parts that they have in mind, maybe to start a business one day. So there are so many different reasons to use the CAD software. So we want to have as many exercise videos as possible to design different types of parts with Autodesk Inventor. In this video, we're going to design a bathroom organizer, a toiletry organizer, something that can organize a toothpaste, toothbrush, and I personally need one, and I have an electric shaver, for example. It comes with these clip-on attachments, and I always lose them. I want to be able to organize something, organize it using a 3D part, 3D printed part. So let's just design it. It's a custom part, so it gives us a lot of freedom to design it however we like and cover the features we talked about so far in this tutorial. So let's start a 2D sketch on the XY plane. Let's just draw a simple two-point center rectangle starting from the origin point. And I measured the space I have, which is about 300 millimeters. So I don't want to use the whole length, so I'm going to use 230 millimeters for the length. And I don't want it to be square. I want it to be rectangle, so let's call it 180 millimeters. And let's finish that sketch and right click and extrude and apply this 10 millimeter extrusion, which should be enough because this is going to be my back wall. I want to mount this on the wall and I want to add a bunch of pockets and holders on this face. And just a quick note, I'm coming up with these numbers, these dimensions as I design it. Maybe we will design it, finish this design, I will 3D print it, and I will find some mistakes, maybe potential improvements. That's part of the design process, so don't be afraid to assign a wrong dimension. Just take a guess and use your best judgment and assign a dimension. If it looks good to you, prototype it, 3D print it, see how it looks, and if there's any room for improvement, and go back to the part and make the modifications. And that's part of the design process, and it's perfectly normal. So let's continue. Let's create a new sketch on this face now, and let's start with the toothbrush holders. Let's start with that. Let's design a quick rectangle here, and let's dimension it and fully define it. So let's say this length here is 20 millimeters, and the distance from the edge, let's just give it maybe 10 millimeters, and you know let's just call the thickness 3 millimeters. So we use this 10 millimeter for the distance, and let's just keep it that way for the other features as well, so the part stays consistent. And this 3 millimeter thickness should be okay for a 3D plastic part, to make it durable. And the only thing we haven't assigned is this edge to this edge, this height here, which is, let's call it 90 millimeters. And I can technically apply an extrusion to this and then do feature patterns, but I want to design the second tab as well. I want to be able to have two tabs, two extrusions, in which I can slide a toothbrush. So let's just design another rectangle here and call that also 20 millimeters. And for the, again, thickness 3 millimeters, and the distance between the two 8 millimeters. And also, again, we want this distance to be 90 millimeters. We could have just used constraints, for example, instead of dimensioning it. We could have used the one that we already dimensioned, but let's just do it this way. Let's finish that sketch and right-click and apply extrusion to these two tabs, and let's call it 20 millimeters because this is 20 millimeters in length. So we apply 20 millimeter extrusion, so we have this square tab here. Let's click OK. And I want to have two of these. Let's just create a rectangular feature pattern, select the feature. We could have selected that extrusion on the browser tree as well, as you will remember from that video in the previous videos. Let's just select the direction. It goes the wrong way right now. Let's flip it and maybe assign 25 millimeters for the distance. Yeah, it should be okay. Yeah. And so when I slide the toothbrush in, I don't want it to come out. So I want to have some kind of a notch here, some kind of a bump here that will prevent it from sliding back out. So let's just create a sketch on that face. So now we're looking at it from the top. We're working on this face now. Let's project that geometry. This one. Let's project these two. This one. And now let's just draw a line. We can draw individual lines, or we can just draw one line here like this. And then I already saw that perpendicular constraint sign, which means that this is parallel to this one. So let's just call this also 3 millimeters. Let's keep it consistent. Let's finish that 2D sketch and apply 3 millimeter extrusions to those little squares we created right here, 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 here. Yeah, let's click OK. Yeah, right now it doesn't look that good, but we will add more fillets later and it's going to look pretty. It's going to look more aesthetically pleasing. And these are, let's say, our toothbrush holders. And let's just right above that, let's put a toothpaste holder. Let's create a new sketch here. Right click, project that geometry. So we're taking advantage of the existing geometries and features. So let's design another 2-point rectangle here. We used 10 millimeter distance from the side edges, so let's just keep it that way. I want to have more than 3 millimeter thickness here because toothpaste is relatively heavier product, so let's keep it 8. And this here, maybe call it 30 millimeters. And the length, I measured the diameter of the cap of the toothpaste, so it's about 33, 34 millimeters. So I'm going to give this 50 millimeters, so it's slightly larger than that. Let's finish this 2D sketch. Right click, extrude, and select this feature. And let's also extrude it by 50 millimeters. So again, we have that square space on top of it. And now I don't want the toothpaste to sit here and slide out, so let's have a pocket for it. New sketch on select this face, right click, project that geometry and draw a circle here. Let's say this circle is 25 millimeters from that side, 25 millimeters, oops, let me delete that, 25 millimeters from the side edge. Because I know it's 50 by 50, so if I assign 25 by 25, it's going to be on dead center. And also let's for the diameter, let's call it 40, so it's slightly larger than the diameter of the toothpaste cap. Let's finish this 2D sketch and right click, extrude. I want to just remove material by maybe 3 millimeters. So I have this pocket here for the toothpaste to sit in. Now I have my toothbrush holders and toothpaste holder. Now I want to have a larger pocket for my electric shaver. So let's create a sketch again, another rectangle here, and then again keep it consistent. From the edge it's 10 millimeters, from this edge it is also 10 millimeters, and my shaver is about 135 millimeters in length, so let's just give it something more than that. 150 seems reasonable, and for the height let's call it 40, no, maybe 50 millimeters. So let's finish that sketch. And I can keep modifying the sketch, but let's just extrude this. And instead of entering 50 here, I can just click here to two section here and select this face. If I wanted to add material and be aligned with this previous feature for the toothpaste, that way then it's perfectly lined up here. And in parentheses, you can also see the 50 millimeters here. Let's just click OK. And there are so many different ways to do this. I could have shelled this. I could have taken care of everything in the sketch, of course. But I'm intentionally doing it using the basic features in the simplistic way. And I'm sure you will find different methods to accomplish the same design goals. So let's create a new sketch on this face. Now we are sketching on this face right here. And let's just right click and project that geometry. And now let's use just simple lines. Come here, maybe draw a line here, draw another line here, draw another line here. And we have been using 3 millimeters for the wall thickness. Let's keep it that way. Assign 3 here, and we can even use the parameters, of course. And for example, this one, let's say uses that. And let's finish that sketch. Right click, extrude, and select this inner rectangle and select cut. Instead of through all, again, select two again and select this face. That way it removes the material until it meets this face. Now we have this pocket here. Like I said, there are so many different ways to do this. I'm intentionally using different methods to accomplish the same design goals. So we And also in the space where I'm going to install this on the wall, on the right hand side, I have this outlet, which I will use to charge the device here. So I don't want, I want to be able to feed the charger cable through a port here. So let's just have a quick cutout here, maybe like a little hole or a rectangle. So let's just create a new sketch on this face this time. Right click and project that geometry. And let's use a slot, center point slot, yes. So let's take advantage of these dotted lines, find a midpoint, and create the slot, and then general dimension it. And this is again 50 by 50. So let's just dimension the height and length. And this here, let's call it 20 millimeters. For the diameter, let's call it 7 millimeters. Now it's fully defined. Right click, extrude, and select this, select cut. And in the previous videos, we generally use through all. If I do that in this case, it's not only going to remove the material here, but also it's going to remove the material here as well. I don't want that. I want to only remove this section. So I'm going to select two, and I'm going to select this face here. So it removes material until it reaches to that face. Let's click OK, and now we have that charging port there. So I have my device pocket, I have the toothpaste pocket, toothbrush holders. I have this dead space here, and I can add some trays there, maybe to hold the deodorant, and also maybe a second tray to add the clip-on attachments for the electric shaver. So let's just right click and new sketch here, and let's create another 2-point center rectangle. Let's project that geometry as well. Instead of dimensioning it, let's just use the constraints this time, because when we were doing this, we didn't do that. So let's just select this line here and select this top line here and find the collinear constraint. That way they are aligned. That way it's now fully defined. As you can see it, the color changed to black. I didn't have to dimension it. Come here, select this line, select this line. Now they are aligned. Come here, select this line and select this line. Now I also maintain that 10 millimeter distance from the edge. For the length, now 120 millimeters looks reasonable for that. And let's finish that sketch. Right click, extrude, and again I want this to be also aligned with the rest of the features, which is 50 millimeters. Click OK, and let's just add a similar pocket like we did it here. So let's right click, click new sketch, select this face this time, and right click, project that geometry. And again, I can draw simple lines like I did before, or I can draw a rectangle, but this time let's use the offset feature. Let's just take advantage of this existing design. Select those edges and move it inward and enter 3 millimeters and hit enter. That way, I didn't have to draw individual lines or draw a rectangle and dimension everything. I took advantage of the existing design, entered 3 millimeters, which gave me that 3 millimeter wall thickness on the outer side. So let's just finish that 2D sketch. Right click, extrude, select this intersection, cut material, and 3 millimeter cut. Let's just click OK. Or instead of adding material, I can just select the two feature again and select this face here because they're all aligned, right? So I want these two features to have the same kind of depth. So let's just do that. And now I created one tray. I still have some dead space here. I can create another tray there. Let's use the rectangular feature for that. These two extrusions created that tray and the cutout in that tray. So let's just select them in the browser tree this time. Select the direction, select the edge here, which is going to give me the direction of the pattern. And let's flip it because I want it to go down. And for the distance, maybe 40. That doesn't give me enough space in between the trays, and maybe 60. Yeah, that should be okay, right? It gives me enough space to put some stuff here. It doesn't block the pocket here. I can even go 70 maybe because I will be able to put the device from the side. But let's just keep it this way. Let's click OK. And of course, this is a plate that's going to be mounted on the wall. So that means that I'm going to have to add some holes. So let's just click on the hole feature. I want this to be a simple clearance hole because it's 3D printed part. I don't want to, and I can't add any thread to this. I don't want to. And I want to have a counter bore, which means that I can put the bolt and I can, hide the head of the bolt. So that's more aesthetically pleasing. Let's just use the M5, these parameters apparently I used last time, so feel free to copy it, but this should be okay for what I need. So let's just select this side and this side. I don't really have much room here, so I'm just going to put it here. Let's activate this hole, select this edge, and keep it again consistent. Let's say it's 10 millimeters away from that left side, and from the top, let's call it 60. That way it's a bit further away from the toothbrush. So we don't want the screw to be too close, right? So let's activate this hole this time. Select this edge, enter 10 millimeters again. Select this edge again, enter 60 millimeters, and click OK. Now we have our holes. So what else? What else do we need to do? I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah, so we have since we're gonna put some shaving, you know, items here, and we have toothbrush here, so maybe a separator in between is a good idea. Let's just right click, create a new sketch here, and right click, project geometry, and now let's just draw another rectangle here. That way we can just put a wall there in between so they just separate it. Again, let's just take advantage of the constraints again. Let's just constrain these two collinearly, and then again this edge with this edge. So these trays and the toothpaste holder, we always used 8 millimeters for the thickness. Let's call it 8 again. And how much space do we have here? So if I just act like I'm gonna add a dimension here, it's gonna be 40. I'm gonna hit escape and get out of that command. And let's just 40 minus 8, it's going to be 32 divided by 16, divided by 2, it's going to be 16 millimeters. If I give 16 here, now this rectangle is going to be in dead center. So let's click on Finish Sketch and right click, extrude that. Again, select the 2 feature and select this face here. Now we have a wall in between. Yeah, and you can even create a sketch on this face and maybe create a cool spline design, and then you can kind of add an interesting feature there on that, and the separator wall. But let's just keep it simple for now. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I don't think I need to add anything else. I don't want to add anything here because the bottom side of the toothbrush will be there. Yeah, it looks good. So now let's make it more aesthetically pleasing, number one, and also more durable because this is 3D printed plastic piece. So let's use the fillets to add material and also make it more smooth and more round edges and accomplish more round edges. So first of all, I want to start with the outer fillets. Let's change it to 20 millimeters, although that might be too much, but let's see. 20 here, 20 here, 20 here. I'm worried about this one. 20, it looks good. Yes. I can keep adding it by clicking on plus sign. I can keep adding different radius fillets on the other sections too, but I want to have fillets separately on the browser tree just for this example. Let's just click OK. And also, we have been leaving 10 millimeter distance from the edges. So let's just start another fillet and enter 10 this time and use that to add material from the bottom so we are making it a bit sturdy. We don't want these trays to break from these connection points, right? So let's use the fillets to add some material there and eliminate those stress points, eliminate those sharp corners by adding some radiuses there. So let's just do the same thing here, same thing here, same thing here, maybe even here. Yeah, let's just keep it that way. Okay, now these tabs don't look really aesthetic, so let's just add 20 millimeter radiuses there. Here, 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 and then maybe even here. Yeah, yeah, I like how it looks here. Let's click OK. And I don't like these sharp corners here. I know that I added 3 millimeters of an extrusion there. So let's click on these corners. All I need is a quick bump here, right, for the toothbrush to not fall out. So let's just add these 3 millimeter. Of course, I'm being extremely generous with these fillets right now because I know I'm going to 3D print it. Of course, if I was going to get this fabricated or something, I wouldn't be adding these this many fillets on this simple design because that would cost so much. So we wouldn't want that. Another thing is let's add some side fillets. Let's call it 5. But that's why we're doing this, right? It's a custom part, so we're just being very generous with these features right now. Let's add these 5 millimeter fillets from all sides. Uh, yeah, and this even these sides actually. Yeah. Okay. What else? What else? Even add it into the internal sections. Yeah, I like it. Maybe here too. Even here. Yeah. So let's add these corners, make them round, so that again we don't like sharp corners very much. So add these 5 millimeter fillets in the internal sections. See, when I applied the fillet on the outside, it removed the material, so now it's getting close to that internal corner. I don't want that, so I'm going to implement the same thing. Again, there are so many different ways and much easier ways to do this, but I want to, again, it's okay to click more than enough right now to, just we're trying to overuse the features right now and do more exercise, and it's a good practice. So let's just apply 5 here, and click OK. Yeah. So it looks good right now, and let's just add a overall 1 millimeter fillet. Let's just select the whole thing and just apply 1 millimeter fillet to everything except the holes. If you end up adding fillets to something that you don't want to add fillets to, you can always hold down the control button on your keyboard and select these features that we added fillets when we selected the whole thing. We can just remove those fillets from those features. Maybe we don't want these fillets on the holes. So let's just click on them and it looks good now. Yeah, let's click OK. Yeah, so let's even change the view by clicking on the View tab and change the visual style to realistic. Yeah, this is what it's going to look like. Although it's using right now the default white material, but I think I'm going to use a black matte finish 3D, just a filament for this for the 3D printer. I think that should look okay. Yeah. So yeah, I will be able to put the device here and charge it from this side, and I will be able to put attachments here. And notice that everything looks pretty symmetrical, which is always great. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and 3D print this, and I'm gonna install it, and I'm gonna make a separate video and share the results with you. And maybe I made some mistakes with some dimensions. Maybe I could have changed a few things. Right now, I don't see it. But like I said in the beginning, it's part of the design process to get feedback from the customer, from other people, or also, design prototype parts and understand how it can be better and perfect a part. That is really a fun process. I always like improving designs, and so just I'm excited to 3D print this and install it and use it in my in the bathroom, and I will make a video and share the results with you. Until then, see you in the next video. Thanks.